Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. They are aggressively buying the dip in AMC stock. By they, I mean basically everyone, at least all of the notable names. Point 72, Citadel, Vanguard. Vanguard just went crazy buying AMC stock. They've increased their position by a lot. It really makes you wonder, is something coming? Considering Adam Aaron just said he's going to have a lot to say on the earnings call. Is something coming that maybe, other people are more privy of knowing about? The guys that really move the markets. Are they getting ahead of this? Should you be aware of this? We're going to get into it here in this video, go over everything you need to know in regards to AMC stock. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about this information down below in the comment section. So, first up, again, AMC stock has rallied quite a bit from the lows. On a percentage basis, it is impressive. On a dollar basis or a nominal basis, it's not impressive at all, right? We still have a lot of work to do, and I think there's a lot of room for the upside to run here. But from the lows, you're up like 35%. So it's been pretty good if you were buying AMC at the lows. Although I don't think a lot of people bought the stock at the lows. Some people may have bought options. We've seen an influx of option activity to the call side recently. But overall, I think even now, you're not too late to this story here with AMC and another potential rally. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a financial planner. I can always be wrong. And if you listen to anything anyone says on the internet and just blindly go out and not do your due diligence and just blindly go out and, buy whatever it is, whether it's equity, options, crypto, no matter what it is, you're more than likely going to lose money. Okay. That's the bottom line to it. Let's take a look at these 13F filings. These 13F filings have started to come out, and they're pretty impressive. So let's take a look. There's going to be a lot of names too. I just really want to pay attention to the notable names that we all know about. These are your big players. First up, you have Barclays. Their 13F filing came out on February 15th. They bought almost 419,000 shares, brand new position. You can see highlighted here in green. They also bought a put position worth 637,000 shares. So it's hard to say exactly, what strikes they bought or what kind of strategy they are employing here. Overall, pretty neutral position, I would argue. Jane Street. They did up their position by 254%. They now own 2.9 million shares of AMC. So far, so good. Vanguard just bought the dip like crazy. They now own 20.2 million shares of AMC. They increased their position by 48.32%. That is huge. When you're talking 20 million shares and they increased their position 48%, they bought almost 10 million shares in the last quarter? Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Millennium Management, they did add to their put position a little bit. They did reduce their share position by about 5%, but pretty nominal numbers there. They added to their call position about 11%. Royal Bank of Canada increased their position in AMC about 31%. Let's see. Point 72 Management bought a call or a put position for 13,000 shares worth, a call position of 15,000 shares worth, and they did buy 157,000 shares of AMC. Now, Point 72 Asset Management, very big player in the hedge fund institutional world, and they did just get brand new positions. These are green. These are they didn't have position in AMC prior to this. Citadel, here we have it. Citadel added to their call position about 32%. Now owning 1.6 million shares worth in AMC. They added to their call or their share position by 648%. they now own 1.52 million shares of AMC. They added to their put position about 103%, controlling about 3.1 million shares of AMC via a put position. Again, we don't know exactly what put they have or whatnot. Likely a strategy of going long, and going short at the same time via puts. You can make an argument to maybe they're the ones facilitating some of the shady stuff that goes on with AMC. I think a lot of us have speculated that before. Bank of America, they did buy a new put position worth about 500,000 shares, and they did sell about 63% of their AMC position, now owning 325,000 shares. So Bank of America is net negative on AMC. That's for sure. Walleye Capital, they own 400. They increased their call position by 478%. Now they own 246,000 shares of AMC to the upside, or at least in exposure. They increased their put position by about 39%, controlling 96,000 shares in their put position. Sequoia, Susquehanna International Group, that's another big player here. They added to their call position by about 4%. They own 28.35 million shares in their call position. In their put position, they decreased that by about 39%, and now they only have exposure to about 4.5 million shares to the put side. Their shares, they now own 150,000 shares, decreased that by about 45%, but they are way net long in AMC, right? Way net long. They're net long over 24 million shares in AMC. That is, they're more net long than Vanguard. Like, that's incredible. That's like, wow. Oh my gosh. And if there's anyone out there that's going to know maybe, information about AMC, it's probably going to be, some of these guys here that we're talking about. Goldman Sachs, they increased their position in AMC by about 9.19%, now owning 306,000 shares of AMC. Morgan Stanley increased their position by 196%, and they own about 3.3 million shares in AMC. But probably the most notable of all of these filings is Renaissance Technologies. They went long in AMC a while ago, but now they're really long in AMC. They own 4.88 million shares of AMC. They increased their call position, get this, or their share position, by 14,739%. They were very minimal owners of AMC before this last quarter. Now, you got to wonder, and even Goldman Sachs here, totally sold out of their put position. You got to wonder here, why is Renaissance Technologies buying the dip so aggressively in AMC? And for those of you guys who don't know who Renaissance Technologies is, they are a very coveted portfolio manager, right? Or a hedge fund, if you will. They have mostly the original investors that invested in the fund. They've grown the fund with some of the highest rates of return that are out on Wall Street, and you can't even get into the fund anymore. It's closed off. It's been closed off for a very long time. They mostly use quant trading, so like math whizzes and algorithms, right? And all quant strategies are going to be different, but that's broadly speaking what it is. They have very high rates of return, like 25+% every single year, almost without falter. So that's interesting that even they are buying the dip like crazy in AMC. That makes me a lot more bullish for this upcoming earnings from AMC and really what Adam Aron has to say. Now, JP Morgan owns 130,000 shares of AMC. They increased their share position by 337% in the last quarter. So literally all of these filings from all of the notable, hedge funds, institutions, or banks, all of them, literally every single one of them, is either neutral on the stock in, very few instances. Like Citadel, I would say, is pretty neutral. What is it? Bank of America, slightly negative on AMC. Everyone else is net long, like way net long in AMC. BlackRock, even. I mean, they own 8.6 million shares of AMC now. They increased their position by 231% in the last quarter. And these new positions, it's not like BlackRock has any puts on AMC. It's not like, Morgan Stanley even now has any puts on AMC. It's not like, all of these other Renaissance, they don't have any puts on AMC. JP Morgan, they don't have any puts on AMC. It's pretty simple at this point. AMC has just fallen so much that, a stock can only go to zero. Buying puts on the stock right now makes no sense at all. But a stock can go up to essentially infinity, right? We already know this. That's what it looks like these guys are positioning for a large movement higher in AMC stock. And, I don't necessarily like to have a tinfoil hat, but I'm not delusional to the fact that other individuals and institutions and firms are more privy to information than we are. That's just the fact of the matter. That's just how Wall Street is. The big guys are always going to know more than the small guys. And when all of the big guys, the whales out there, are buying millions of shares of AMC, Renaissance increasing their position by 15,000%, that's showing an urgency to get into these positions. Susquehanna, however you say that one of the largest wealth management firms in the world. They just have 24 million shares of long exposure in AMC. These are huge numbers. Vanguard increased their position in AMC by 48%, BlackRock by hundreds of percents. Come on. I mean, we might be called dumb money, but we're not stupid, right? Not at all. Dumb money just refers to having less information than quote unquote smart money. It's pretty obvious when you look at the filings what's going on here. The selling got exhausted, the downside got extreme, and what comes next? Likely some big upside. And just based on what we're seeing with these filings, I would argue potentially really big upside could be coming. Now, I don't want to get anyone too excited. There's always a chance that maybe they don't have inside information. Maybe they don't know anything. Maybe they're, who knows, just speculating. But that would be quite the speculation across the board if that is actually what is going on. Now, Adam Aron just said about 2 days ago, he's going to have a lot to say on the earnings call. And it's gotten, some attention out there on Wall Street, or at least in this community. And I think the only real thing that's really going to get our attention at this point is a commitment to not diluting shareholders again, right? We know about the box office. We know the box office is bad. We know things are not exactly great. Like what else are you really going to say that to imply that there could be like big news coming? Like, what else do you got? That's all you got. That's all there is, right? So, I feel like the deeper you get into those 13F filings, just the more consensus bullish it starts to look, right? Which is, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems pretty clear to me. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.